Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Keever's Place, the Keever Murdaugh Show and Podcast. So this is going to be a special edition show tonight. I have in the house my co-host, my girl, my ace, Jacqueline Kaba-Harrison, and we're going to be just talking to you tonight about an event that she has coming up. We're going to have a lot of fun. So this is going to be a great show tonight. So before I actually have her to introduce herself, let me introduce myself for those who may not know who I am. I am Coach Keever Murdaugh, and I am the host and executive producer of Keever's Place, the Keever Murdaugh Show and Podcast. We love for our people to who are watching us to just be able to engage with us. Just let us know where you're watching us from. We want to hear from you because this is a show to empower, to inspire, and to uplift you. So don't go silent tonight. Let us know where you're watching us from. I know we're on several platforms, so definitely chime in. We want to hear from you. Also, we may do something special later on in the show. I'm not exactly sure. We'll kind of see how it goes, but you definitely want to stay tuned in because who knows? You don't know what may happen. So definitely stay engaged with us. So without further ado, I want to welcome Jacqueline Kaba-Harrison. She is no stranger to Keever's Place. She has been here a couple times now, right? About two, several times. So tell our audience, Jacqueline, a little bit about you before we dive into what we're doing here tonight.
Okay, everybody. Well, thank you for having me on again, Keever. It's always a pleasure. So, hi, everybody. I'm Jacqueline Kaba-Harrison, and I am a confidence and success coach. And I also host the Eight Queens Roundtable show and podcast, as well as the Eight Queens Roundtable Leadership Symposium, which we'll be talking more about momentarily. And I am also the executive producer of the Eight Queens Roundtable channel on the one and only Women Win Network. And I think a lot of people know me by just collaborating. I love collaborating, connecting, because I truly believe that if you, let me see, how does that African proverb go? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And I truly, truly believe that. I believe in talking the talk and walking the walk.
I love that. And that is one of the things that I really do appreciate about you is I have had the opportunity to be a guest, a panelist on a Queen's roundtable symposium. And I just embrace the fact that when we as women talk about collaborating, working together, reaching across the aisle, lifting our queen up, that's exactly what we do together collectively and what you are known for. So a Queen's Roundtable is just that. It's literally is a place where women could come and feel inspired and motivated. And not only there, share and pour into the next queen and literally pick them up and help them and show them where to go from here. So tell them a little bit about exactly what a Queen's um, Roundtable Symposium is.
Okay, so it's it's like an extension of the show because the show itself is geared towards, well, my platform in general, the show and the podcast, as well as the leadership symposium, is geared towards personal, professional, and leadership development, specifically for African American women in business, right? To basically help you, whatever your goals are, whatever your vision is for your business, to help you get there by increasing those three things: personal, professional, and leadership development. So that's the foundation in which it was built on. And what you mentioned earlier, Keever, in terms of the sharing, it's all about, it's not, it's about spotlighting us for all that we do, as well as an opportunity to be able to, for others to learn from our experiences, others to be able to learn from some of the mistakes that we've made, for others to understand or to normalize, right? Feeling or having felt like an imposter, or suffering with perfectionism or procrastination, right? We all know what's underneath those things, but sometimes you have to put it out there, you put it on the table, normalize it, and that way people can kind of acknowledge it, understand it a little bit better, and be able to ultimately work past it. So that's the foundation for both the show and the symposium. It's basically for us to achieve our goals, whatever our goals are for our life and for our business.
Exactly. Now you have a great event coming up. So I want you to tell them about that and how they can get involved.
Okay. So this is something different. We always talk, or I know I talk a lot about going outside of your comfort zone, right? So I said this is the start of 2023 because the symposium itself is going to be January the 15th. So I want to do something different. And this particular symposium is focusing on uniting women of color across the globe. Excuse me. I'm getting over a sinus infection, so my throat's a little scratchy. But my vision, Keever, is women, all of the, African women, Caribbean women, obviously African American women, you name it, that are out there, that are influencing, podcasters, authors, coaches, consultants from the UK to, like I said, Africa, from the Caribbean, Canada. I want everybody to get involved. And the idea behind that is, again, demonstrating. It's one thing to say, let's collaborate, but it's another thing to consistently, right, show up doing just that. And I know that a lot of us probably have similar or have stumbled upon similar things in our businesses, right? And I want us to be open and honest about it and share it. So I want us to be able to share that, to be able to help others excel in business, and again, learn from our mistakes, as well as be able to walk away with these partnerships, right? I really want people to be able to network, because let's just say if an individual, I don't know, is in the Caribbean and she wants to speak on the platform, she's a coach, she's a consultant, she wants to speak. That way, we can be introduced to her audience as well as she can be introduced to our audience. And hopefully the idea is that we will continually connect and collaborate to, again, become stronger. I mean, just think about all of us uniting, and actually, I didn't even think of this until just now, maybe creating some sort of a global network, where we're streaming live and regularly, interacting with other women all across the world that are truly, truly wanting to see other women win. And to see what different things people are doing. Somebody else may have an idea that I haven't thought of, and vice versa. So it's like bringing all the great minds together at the round table, at the Queen's Round Table.
I love it. And you hit the nail right on the head though, because it can be very lonely to feel like you are going through certain things alone, right? Whether or not you are starting a business, whether you are a first-time homemaker, whether you are, a brand new mother or whatever. Sometimes if you don't have that network, that collection of people around you, it could be very lonely, feeling like you're just out here by yourself. But one thing that I do love about a Queen's Roundtable is you don't get that sense of loneliness, right? You feel like you literally have your sister right there beside you. Your sister has your back. She understands. She may not be walking exactly in those same shoes, but she may have some of those same experiences that you are currently going through. And that's why, I'm so grateful to be a part of this network and this family, because we reach across the lines all the time. Like, we literally share each other's network. And that is one thing that I close with all the time. Let's continue to share, connect, and glow, right? Because growing and linking those opportunities is what is going to make us stronger and what's going to bind us together as sisters. And they like to say, Jacqueline, we can't work together. I rebuke that devil. We
That's
can work
good.
together and we can really make an impact, not only in the US, but like she says, she is looking for people around the world. So to be a part of this symposium, you don't have to only be, confined to one continent. We are global, y'all. We are talking about taking this thing global. So if you are a woman who is looking to get your voice out there outside of where you are, you definitely want to be a part of the symposium. So, Jacqueline, tell them exactly what it is you are looking for, though.
One other thing too, I want to mention that there's her name is Coach Janine. So she's another young lady that's actually going to be co-hosting the summit as well. She's originally from the Congo, and I believe she's now currently living in Houston or some part of Texas. Don't hold me to Houston, but I know she's in Texas. And her vision, or what she's going to be bringing to the table, is coordinating after the symposium to be able to mentor, to have ongoing mentorships with women that, are like you mentioned earlier, maybe just starting a business or maybe need some help. They know that they want to start a business, but don't quite know what they want to start, to kind of help them with that blueprint and that framework. That's her specialty and what her company does. So we're also going to be incorporating that. And this is my first time doing something like that. So I'm really excited about it. And I just believe that as we go along, we need to go outside of our comfort zone. And that's outside of my comfort zone. I've never done that before. So I just want you to know, whenever I do this talk about go outside of your comfort zone, I definitely do it myself. I'm not just talking it, I'm actually doing it myself. So like I said, that's going to be different, like a new spin on it. And I'm really excited about that component of it. So I wanted you all to know that as well. In terms of what we're looking for in terms of speakers, again, you could be you could be a podcaster, you could be an author, co-author, visionary author, you could be a coach, consultant, or all of the above, right? I just want you to be able to be able to, obviously willing to come to the virtual stage and share something that falls under the umbrella of personal, professional, or leadership development, as well as be willing to share some different obstacles that you've had, and the reason that's important is because, nowadays with social media, it's so, we look at other individuals, myself included, and we see where they are today, but we don't know the different struggles that they've gone through, or, they take one step forward and take three steps backwards, or we don't know that maybe they even pondered throwing in the towel at one time. So I would like for you to be willing to share an obstacle that you've had personally or professionally, and how you were able to address that, and how you were determined not to give up based on that particular obstacle. So that's what we're looking for.
So if you've ever wanted to be a speaker, she's definitely opening up the floor for you to be a speaker on this symposium. She is looking for somebody, like she said, who is transparent. And I think you just made a valid point. It is easy to just because social media can be very misleading sometimes, right? It has its purpose. It's a great vehicle to getting your voice out there. But if you're not careful, like the old folks used to say, if you're not 10 times sharp, you'll find yourself in a sad place, because you're seeing, from what we can see, you're seeing people moving and shaking and making things happen. But like Jacqueline said, you don't know what that person went through that day. You don't know what they have endured. So we're looking for these individuals who can be honest, who can be vulnerable, who can be transparent about how they have gotten to where they are. And Jacqueline, I say all the time, everybody has a story, right?
Mhm.
Everybody has a story, right? And it's very important for us to get our voices out there. So if you are looking to be a speaker on the symposium, I have the information right here on the form. Just fill out this form. You see it right here, form.jotform.com/realizing your potential 123 /women of color united speaker. And she's very made it very specific. She's looking for women of color. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. You can definitely have an opportunity to speak on this platform. So, Jacqueline, let's talk about what they have to look forward to in being a part of this platform. What your target audience you want them to be able to speak into. Let's talk a little bit about that.
So, target audience is women in business, women that are going to be, or our ideal target population for this type of symposium is women that are either thinking about starting a business and just kind of don't know where to start, women who are already in business, right? Whether you just started your business 6 months ago or 2 3 years ago, or you're a seasoned entrepreneur, or maybe you have one particular focus area, or you're a serial entrepreneur, but you have to be in the mindset of wanting to um, feed yourself, do personal development, professional, or leadership development. So that's what you can expect. So it's for, think of women in business. You are helping by, whatever your specific topic or specific focus is, that is going to be able to help other women achieve their goals in their business.
Hmm. Now, are you also looking for speakers who can talk about other things? Yes, we are focusing on business, but what if they want to talk about being self-confident? What if they want to talk about overcoming, traumatic experiences? Tell us a little
Yes,
bit about that. Because that can
absolutely.
actually tie into business, right? So, I don't
Absolutely.
want them to get the impression that they have to only talk about business specific topics, but they can also talk about other topics that can relate, and we can
Mhm.
reference it back to our businesses.
Absolutely, because anything, even if it's mental health. Let's just say
Hmm.
you're a coach and maybe you suffer from bipolar, and you want to share a little bit about your experience, from the mental health perspective, and that can help someone. There may be another business owner out there that's suffering from depression, anxiety, or some form of mood disorder, and they feel that they should give up, or that they can't get past it. So, or it could be maybe if you're a career coach, it could be maybe if you focus on confidence, how to build your self confidence, or maybe if you're an image coach, anything that falls under the umbrella of, providing coaching or consulting. Or maybe if have a show, possibly you have a particular live show, or if you're a podcaster, so it could be anything that involves good mental health, right?
Mhm.
So again, anything that helps you um, to better yourself in terms of being able to carry out your to be productive in your business. Any sort of barrier that you may experience, and it could be something along the lines of maybe time management. It could be something about productivity, fear of failure, imposter syndrome, procrastination, perfectionism. Any of those types of things will fall under the umbrella of like mental health, right? It could be
Mhm.
spiritual. It could be maybe you want to talk about how you strengthen your connection with God, and as a result of that, you have been able to be more focused and more intentional in your business, right?
Mhm.
Also, it could be maybe a more specific form of, maybe you're a business strategist. Maybe you are a website builder. So it can also be those specific target areas that we all need for our business to flow in. Those technical type of things. If that's your area of expertise, so anything under that umbrella, which is I think is a pretty wide range. Oh, and also, you know what? This one too, I think is important because I'm a therapist. I couldn't think of that for the world right then, but I'm a therapist, and I talk with a lot of women that have chronic illnesses. So I let's just say if you're an entrepreneur and you suffer from a chronic illness, I don't know, fibromyalgia, migraines, lupus, right? Let's just say this is a good opportunity. I would love for you to participate because, again, there are a lot of women out there that are just suffering in silence and wondering if they could do it. And to be able to talk openly about that and how you manage that, or maybe even a cancer survivor, right? I mean, we're all going through something. Or it could even be running a business, and I'm in this arena, running a business and maybe caring for an elderly parent. All of those things impact our mental health, right? And that impacts what? The way we show up, which impacts our business. So like I said, and if you're not sure, maybe you're a particular coach or consultant, but you're not sure if it's quite what I'm looking for, just, shoot me a DM and we'll clarify it, and go from there.
And that's why I love the symposium because, Jacqueline, we all know representation matters, right? It's really important when we're able to go into a space and be able to see ourselves, right? So just having, and I love the fact that as the visionary of this symposium, you are looking for not a cookie cutter type of speaker, but you're literally opening up the box for just about anybody that have an area of expertise that can benefit the woman of color in business. And I just want these our audience to know, you don't have to be, anybody in this particular specific narrow scheme of things. You can literally be, a speaker from any walk of life and still be able to bring value to the participants of the symposium. So do not limit yourself. And Jacqueline, I wanted to also mention, I don't think some people realize the doors that you open with just starting to walk into the realm of being a speaker, right? For me, and probably for you too, I'm sure it has, well, for me specifically, just this podcast came out of that, right? Being a co-author with you came out of that, in this great book, Born to Lead, came out of just being able to step outside of our comfort zones, right? And when things feel new, we tend to want to shrink. We tend to want to fall back because of the fear of being imperfect. But I just want to encourage that woman that is watching who may be kind of on the fence. Yeah, I think I may be able to bring value, but I don't feel I'm as big as some of these other speakers. No, they need to hear from you. They need to hear your story. They need to hear your experiences. They need to understand your walks of life, because even if you were able to reach one person out of thousands, that's still a success. So I really want to encourage that woman who may not feel as if she is where some of these others may be. Somebody still needs to hear your voice because it's important and it's valuable and it's needed.
That's right. Can I piggyback on that and just say, you're right. I think some people shy away because they're like, oh, I'm not a speaker, right? Or just like people shy away from anthologies. I can't tell you how long I held off on doing an anthology because I kept telling myself I wasn't a writer, right?
Me too.
So you can be sitting out there saying, I'm not a speaker, right? Or you can say, oh, I didn't go to college, or I don't have a speaker sheet, or I don't have, 5,000 followers, whatever the case, right? Just pitch all that to the side. We're not concerned about that. The thing is, everybody has a story to tell, and you never know. There is someone out there, like Keever said, even if it's one person that's going to benefit and you could be the catalyst of change for someone. So
Exactly. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching, definitely share this broadcast with the women in your life. But ladies specifically, this is your time. And Jacqueline, it's just something that I'm feeling about 2023. Oh my goodness. Like we thought, and women have really, especially Black women, 2022 was a great year for us. We accomplished so much. And I mean, you can speak on this. Y'all should read her bio. She's been featured in so many different magazines. She has keynote on so many different platforms, and that's just in 2022. So just imagine, right, just how powerful, how impactful we will be in 2023. But we got to step outside of our comfort zone. We got to just, especially if this is a new experience for you, we have to start somewhere. Why not start today? Why not start now? Why not take this opportunity right here to say, you know what? This is my moment and I'm going to seize on it. I'm not going to let the enemy steal what is already ingrained in me. So just take this opportunity. Click this jot form. It's right there. It's been on here half of the show. Click the link, fill out the form, and get yourself in position to be global. Because y'all, I'm telling you, this is going to be a global symposium with global speakers making a global impact and reaching global people. Okay. So this is the time. And one thing about COVID, Jacqueline, we are not confined to a building, right? And that's the beautiful thing that came out of it. Just being able to be in so many different places in the comfort of your home. So this is a great opportunity right now. You don't have to jump on a plane, honey. You don't have to buy no plane ticket. You don't have to do any of that. All you have to do is log in and just literally reach the next queen right there beside you. So I love this. I'm so excited about it.
Me too. And you know what? And once you start taking a step, you gain momentum. That, you know what I mean? Sometimes the hardest part is starting. But once you take that first step, it opens you up, right? It opens you up to different and new possibilities. Whether you continue on to speak, or you start a different type of business, or maybe you launch your mastermind or your coaching program and get your website done, whatever. It could be the first step to helping you gain that momentum, right? And we all sometimes we like, I'm scared to do that. Well, just do it scared. You'll be all right. You're going to get through it.
That's right.
Get through it.
Yes. And even when we fall down, you just get right back up. And it's a great learning experience, right? Because that's how we grow. We grow when we are uncomfortable, right? So sometimes you just got to just, like Jacqueline just said, just do it and do it scared, honey, and just get it out the way. And like I said earlier, thus far, it has speaking, the podcast, just working across lines, collaboration, working together, networking, sharing each other's network. For me, it has opened many doors. And I know there will be more to come, because guess what? It doesn't stop here. Our work is not over yet, right? We still have a lot to share and pour into other people. So this is your moment right now, ladies. Get on this stage, get on this global stage, fill out the form, be a speaker, prepare yourself, and just be ready for just everything that will come along with it, because it's a wonderful opportunity and you don't want to miss out. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss out. The supposed
go ahead. I was just gonna say, and make sure you take a look at the different packages, because like I had mentioned earlier, I'm the executive producer of the A Queens Roundtable channel on the Women Win Network. If you're not familiar with the Women Win Network, it is strictly dedicated to women winning. Women Win 365. So, and it's on Roku and Amazon Fire TV. Beforehand, why don't go ahead, find the app, download it, and just kind of check it out, right? So I'm mentioning that because some of the packages include your segment or your presentation being uploaded to the network. Now it's on demand and it'll be uploaded to the network. But think about that footprint, right? People can watch that on the network for years to come. So you have to, it helps you to, with this whole opportunity of us being able to do things virtually and with on-demand television, we can make this work for us, right? And as an entrepreneur, it's almost like being in one place or being in a bunch of different places at one time. That's what I meant to say. Being in a bunch of different places at one time. So this is a huge opportunity. There has been times where speakers have come back to me and have said, you know what, I'm so glad I participated in your symposium because after that, I got connected with this individual and, I began to network with this person over here and they've gone on to do some awesome things. Although initially they were a little nervous, they were scared. They were like, oh, I don't know the first thing about, doing my own video and things of that nature. And we'll definitely answer questions. We can help you out, because we will want you to participate and to ask questions. Because that way, the knowledge that you're going to gain is invaluable, right? So not only will you learn a new skill, like I said, some of you are, old hats. You know this and can, do it in your sleep. But for those of you that are not, you will now have that experience. That's something else you can add to your portfolio, right? And when you have that knowledge, you can reapply and reapply and reapply. So there's multiple reasons. There's that. There's, like I said, the on-demand version. Also, you will also be a guest, depending on your package, on the Keever's Play show and podcast, and also on the A Queens Roundtable show and podcast. So there's a lot of different opportunities. So I don't want you to miss out on this. So please take the time to click the link, look at what's being offered. And the question is, why should you? The question is, why shouldn't you participate? All right, I'm done. I'm finished.
Now, is there a deadline for speakers to register? Because the symposium is going to be January the 15th, right? So I know you want to kind of close your, just kind of prepare for the symposium that is coming up. So is there a deadline that speakers have to register?
Right now, the deadline is the 20th of December.
Okay. So right, you have a couple more weeks. So definitely govern yourself accordingly. Very good. Well, listen, it is always a pleasure. And I think you have gotten your point across very well. But just in case, is there any final words before we close out the show?
No, ma'am.
So very good. Well, ladies, thank you so much, Jacqueline, for being here, for sharing, for caring, for just extending your platform to other opportunities for people to take advantage of. I greatly appreciate you. I love you to life. And I'm so excited to just be a part of this symposium. This is going to be so good, and I am so looking forward to it. So thank you so much again.
Thank you, Keever, and I'm looking forward to it as well.
You're welcome. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching, for just chiming in, for giving us love. I greatly appreciate it. So until next time, family, continue to share, connect, and glow. Because like we were saying all night, building your network also builds your net worth. So we'll see you next week. Peace and blessings. Love you much. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you for watching Keever's Place, the Keever Murdaugh Show and Podcast. Tune in every Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Keever's Place. To be a guest on our show, text the word guest to 803-368-3030 or visit us at tinyurl.com/Keever's Place Book. And watch us on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire as we're broadcasting in more than 60 million homes worldwide.